Hello, Internet! So nice to see you. A lot of us guitar players play everything in the same handful of keys. We play everything in E minor, or in E, or in A minor, or in C major, in D major maybe, or G major, because those keys are the easiest on the guitar. And at the same time, you hear a lot of people on YouTube telling you, you should play everything in every key, okay? You should know all the keys of your instrument. And then a lot of people kind of develop this inferiority complex, like, I'm a guitar player, but I can play only in 3 keys. What do I do? Okay, well, tell you what. So what if you play everything in E minor? Why would you even want to play in different keys? Okay, so a student asked me this exact question. And my answer is, do you want to play in different keys? It depends on exactly what you want to do. So let's see what I answered to the student and what you can do if you actually want to play in all the keys on this instrument.
When I come up with ideas for songs, I feel stuck in a one key, and as I focus on metal music, it's really often E minor key. One part is that I like the sound of it, but I want to explore more. What can I do more? Not just be in one key, but what could be some like interesting choices, or where to start? Because I know there are probably thousands of choices.
Yes.
What you can do.
Yes.
So where to start? How to approach it?
Okay. There is a legend that says, and again, I don't know if it's true, it's a legend, that says that Bach composed everything in his life in D major and D minor, and only then transposed everything, different keys. And that there is a second legend that says that the Well-Tempered Clavier was him trying to break out of this limitation, that he still composed everything in D major and D minor, but just wanted to see how the whole thing was working. I don't think the second legend is true. I'm not sure about the first, honestly. But at the same time, you can do that. I mean, if all of your idea for a song come in E or E minor, compose your song in E or E minor, that's what you're familiar with, and later transpose it. I mean, you want to transpose it because, I mean, if you have a live set and you have 6, 7 songs in E, it starts to show, okay? And you want something, some changes. But I mean, you can simply just transpose them after the fact. It's a bit more work. Yeah, maybe. I'll say no. Okay. But that's one thing you can do. Second thing you can do is instead start thinking about other keys that are something that have something going on for them. Meaning, for instance, I like a lot C sharp minor, which I know it's the same as E major. Okay, but because I have all the open strings that I can use. And they create an interesting sound. I also like a lot G sharp minor because of other open strings you can use. So you can start thinking what keys gives me some interesting open strings to work with, and then you can start learning those keys. Okay, but there is not written anywhere in the composer charter that you have to be able to compose in more than one key. Okay, compose in any key you want, transpose. So that would be the skeleton of my answers, actually. Okay, that's the gist of it. Either you compose in your key or transpose, or you learn other keys because they offer you something specific. Okay. If you are writing either for non-equal temperament music, so you have some people that are tuned in just intonation, etc., or for instruments that are not in equal temperament, because sometimes you have only one instrument out and that kind of thing, then yes, you have to learn all the keys because the different keys will sound different because the intervals are not all the same. But if you're composing for equal temperament, which is honestly what all of us do at the end of the day, because very, very, very few people actually go down that rabbit hole, and rightly so, because the difference is not as much, then again, you can simply just transpose. There is a second level to everything here. Some keys sound different if you arrange them for specific instruments. For instance, if you want to write a very, very sad piece and arrange it for string quartet, or in general for strings, C minor and F minor are your keys. Why? Because first of all, they have to use all stop notes because all the open strings are not good for those keys, and this makes the sound darker. And second, the specific ranges of the instrument naturally give you some voicing, simply because you have to stay in the range, that tend to sound sadder, the more desperate, and all this kind of thing, because of the intervals and in it, okay? So, if you know all that, or if you hear about some of that, then you can still compose your piece in D minor, which is not the saddest of all keys, okay? But you can, and then you transpose it in F minor or C minor when you arrange it for strings, okay? That's something that is done very, very commonly, okay? To the point that some people will compose the whole thing in D minor, say, the theme in D minor, maybe arrange it for D minor for guitar or for piano, etc., then write a long modulation until they get to F minor or C minor, and then the strings come in, or the string come in during the modulation, and take the same theme in that other key. Okay, very utilitarian as you want as an idea, okay? It just write every section in the key that is more appropriate for that instrumentation, and then write modulations to join those sections. Okay, if you're arranging the same piece for brass quartet, okay, it will not be C minor or F minor because it will be something else. Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how the whole thing will work. But if you're only on guitar, or guitar and bass, so if it's for rock band, for instance, just compose and transpose.
Could it be a way in like make modulations, or like being in E minor key, then go to any other key and go back, or maybe not?
Yes, absolutely.
And how to study that, or how to explore that, where to start with this?
You do know I just launched a course on modulation.
Yeah.
I just launched this course, Modulation Mastery. Thank you for the question. You're checking the mail. I just launched this course, Modulation Mastery. Okay, it takes you from knowing nothing about modulation to being able to do very complex modulation. We do them on the instrument, so you see how everything works on the guitar. And I'm also showing you all the possible variations for every system I'm showing you. So I'm literally giving you 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, in some situation, different modulation per video, and every session is 3 videos. And I'm guiding you through how I built these, all the options that you can build your own, okay? So if you want to learn how this works and really make it customizable for yourself and your music, that's the course. For most composers, they compose the theme, and then the modulation is the boring joining part. I don't want this to be the boring joining part. You follow this course, you're going to look forward to the moment where you modulate, because that's the moment you're like, hey, I can express myself here. I know all the possible options, okay? It's going to be your favorite part, okay? So that will be how you study modulation.
Perfect.
And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Tom.